Hi, coming on to the banking topics. So let us see what are the 4 types of accounts that is available for a non-resident Indian. Before we actually go into the types of accounts, who is an NRI? Who is a non-resident Indian? A person who is of Indian origin going abroad for unknown period. So as far as banking is concerned, this is explained in FEMA regulation, and the detail is about uncertainty of the period of stay abroad. There is another category of explanation which is available, that a person not stayed in India for a period of 180 days. Strictly speaking, this is as per Income Tax Act, and banks do not apply this particular point while opening an NRI account. For example, in case you get a job abroad, or you get into any university or college as a student, you can still go to the bank irrespective of whether you stayed in India for 180 days or not. You can still go to the bank and apply for an account which is a non-resident external account, NRE account. So banks actually look into uncertain period of stay abroad rather than 180 days period, which is explained as per IT Act. So this is exactly the categorization of NRI. And one more category is either the father or forefather or any of the earlier relatives stayed abroad and are held Indian passport. So even those people are considered as non-resident Indian, and also spouses of Indian who is abroad also considered as non-resident Indian, even if they have if they are born in any other country other than India. So a large number of Indian citizens and aliens of Indian origin live abroad. The government of India realized the urgency of mobilizing their savings in the form of bank deposits in India, offered them certain concessions and incentives to remit money to India for investment purposes. These accounts may be opened by non-resident Indians or overseas corporate bodies. So we will see what OCB meaning. What is the definition of non-resident Indian? Point number 1 is an Indian citizen who stays abroad for employment or for carrying on a business or vocation, indicating an indefinite period of stay outside India. Number 2, he is an Indian citizen working abroad with international organizations like UNO or IMF, etc. Number 3, he is an official or central government and public sector undertaking deputed abroad for temporary assignments. Or the last one, he is a person of Indian origin. A person is deemed to be of Indian origin if he at any time held an Indian passport, or he or either of his parents or any of his grandparents was a citizen of India. Spouse of a citizen of India or a person of Indian origin is also deemed to be of Indian origin even though his parents are non-Indians. So what is OCB? So this we have seen about individual. What is OCB? Overseas corporate bodies. And OCB is defined as a company or a partnership firm or a society or trust also, and either corporate body owned directly or indirectly to the extent of at least 60% by non-resident Indians. So as we explained, 60% of the ownership will be with the non-resident Indian on this. Permission of Reserve Bank of India is not required while opening an account for OCBs. So 4 types of accounts can be opened on this, as we detailed earlier. What are they? One is NRO, non-resident ordinary account. Second one is NRE, non-resident external account. Third one is NRE FCNR accounts, meaning foreign currency non-resident account. And fourth one is foreign currency non-resident bank, B, FCNR B they call. So these are the types of accounts that can be opened. So we will see NRO, NRE, then NRE operations account, and foreign currency B account. So these are the 4 types of accounts that can be opened by a non-resident Indian. NRO account, they can deposit the local currency also in that, you are aware. That is, the interest earned on non-resident ordinary account is taxable to the extent of 30 plus 3, 33%. So you can open a current account or savings account or a fixed deposit account under NRO. As we told, local currency, meaning INR, is allowed to be credited into this account. Then comes NRE account. In the case of NRO account, repatriation is not possible. Repatriation meaning you cannot send the money abroad for the on the balances that remains in the NRO account. Then NRE account. Indian nationals abroad or OCBs, overseas corporate bodies, are permitted to open current account, savings account or fixed deposit accounts in India. Under this scheme, the unit of account is Indian rupee. The account is maintained in Indian rupee and this is operating account. The money which is lying in this account are freely repatriable at the prevailing rate of exchange. So on the date of the transaction, whatever rate of exchange is available, on that rate this is transferable. So this the only drawback is the currency fluctuation, exchange fluctuation is not taken care. So you may end up losing by sending, in case you want to convert again. The dollar or other equivalent foreign currency may be lesser at the later rate or higher. So exchange risk is always there. So in this, both rupee loans and foreign currency loans are permitted against the balances which is lying in this account. It is available for the account holder as well as for the third party. Third party meaning other than the account holder, whoever is there, they can avail the loan. Interest rates on these deposits for 1 to 3 years maturity were subject to ceiling of 75 basis points that later on got increased to 100 basis points above LIBOR rate. LIBOR is London Interbank Offer Rate. So interest rates are fixed based on the LIBOR rate, and equivalent to that we have in India is MIBOR, Mumbai Interbank Offer Rate. So based on that, the interest rates are decided on these fixed deposits. Minimum period of FD is 1 year, and maximum period, earlier it was 3 years and then got extended to 5-year period. The revised rates shall apply to fresh deposits or renewed deposits also, which is equivalent to 275 basis points above LIBOR. So 275 meaning 2.75, that's all. Supposing the LIBOR rate is say 2%, we can offer up to 4.75. So that is the maturity period is of 3 years and above without any ceiling. So that is also an advantage. And you don't, banks doesn't need to maintain any CRR or SLR on the NRE deposits, on the incremental NRE deposits, for example. So operations in NRE and FCNRB account holders can do it, or power of attorney holder can also do the operations in this account. They can remit through normal banking channel funds out of the balances in NRE or FCNRB account to the non-resident account of account holder, provided specific powers for the same is given. So power of attorney holder can transfer money from the account of the account holder to another account, provided specific powers are given. So what is FCNRB account? From May 15, 1993, it is in practice. So the currency will remain in the foreign currency form itself. The permitted currencies are accepted, and deposit period is 1 year, maximum is 5 years given. So up to 5 years are permitted. Loans are also given under this scheme. Loans were earlier given up to raised up to 1 crore, and later on the ceiling is withdrawn. So there is no upper limit. So the bank can decide that. Premature withdrawals are not allowed to such depositors who took a loan against such deposits. So this is obvious. Banks to determine the interest rates on such deposits. So on August 15, 2013, the ceiling on 3 to 5 year deposits was further raised to LIBOR for 400 points, meaning LIBOR rate plus 4% interest is added on to FCNR bank deposits. Subject to this guideline, banks may offer either fixed or floating rate of exchange, rate of interest on such deposits. Both rupee loans and foreign currency loans are permitted to the account holders, and third parties against the security of funds held in such accounts are also given. So what is the floating rate of exchange? That we will see in detail and the subsequent videos. But on the loan, depending upon the floating, meaning depending upon the rates prevalent in the London Interbank Offer Rate, every year the bank has the right to change the deposit rate as well as the interest rate on the already obtained loan So this is called, you will sign this agreement at the time of taking the loan itself on the floating rate of exchange. That you can go through the terms and conditions and get the details from the banks from where you are taking this loan. So I hope these types of accounts which we have seen is very clear for a foreign national in India. What are the types and how you can operate the account. If at all you have any query on any of these operational parameters or opening an account, please put it in the description. I will definitely reply to you. Thank you very much for patiently watching. Bye bye. Subscribe to Krupa Vibes YouTube channel.